The Crossroads Cafe sat on the corner of Main Street like a warm memory. Red booths, big windows, soft daylight, the smell of coffee and fresh pie. People came here to rest. People came here to feel seen. Maya Rodriguez worked the afternoon shift. She was 24. Her hair was tied back. Her uniform was clean but faded. She moved fast and quiet. She always kept a calm smile. Maya had a simple plan. Work extra hours. Save every tip. Help her younger brother pay for college. She did not talk about it much. She just did the work. Frank, an older trucker, sat in his usual booth. He lifted his mug and nodded at Maya. Frank, you are doing good today, kid. Maya, thank you, Frank. Same as always. Rosa, the cook, watched from the kitchen window. Rosa had kind eyes and a steady face. She had seen many people walk in and out. She could tell when trouble was near. The bell above the door rang. Maya looked up. A couple walked in like the cafe was a test. The man wore expensive clothes and a confident smile. The woman carried a designer bag and looked around with a tight expression. Dominic Blackwell and Victoria Ashford had stopped here by choice, but they acted as if they were forced to. Victoria, this place feels so old. Why are we here? Dominic, relax. It is just a quick stop. Then we move on. They chose a booth near the window. Victoria took out wipes and cleaned the table again and again. She did it slowly so everyone could see. Victoria, everything here looks sticky. Dominic smiled as if it was funny. Maya walked over with her notepad. Her voice stayed warm and polite. Maya, welcome to Crossroads Cafe. What can I get you to drink? Dominic looked past her, not at her. Dominic, bottled water, cold. Victoria leaned back and studied Maya like she was judging a product. Victoria, do you have something clean? Something light? Something that looks fresh? Maya, yes. We have salads, grilled chicken, and soup today. Victoria, fine. Bring sparkling water. With lemon. Fresh lemon. Maya nodded and wrote it down. She did not react. She had learned that calm was her strength. She stepped away to the counter. Rosa leaned closer. Rosa, are they being difficult? Maya, a little. It is okay. Rosa, do not let them take your peace. Maya gave a small smile. She grabbed cold bottled water and sparkling water. She added lemon slices in a small bowl. She carried everything back with steady hands. Dominic checked the bottle like it might be wrong. Dominic, at least it is cold. Victoria lifted her glass and held it up to the light. Victoria, this is a small town. You can tell. Maya kept her tone gentle. Maya, are you ready to order? Dominic waved his hand like he was brushing away time. Dominic, bring me the best thing you have. The most expensive. I want to see if this kitchen can do real food. Victoria tilted her head. Victoria, and I want the salad. But no cheese. No croutons. No onions. Dressing on the side. And make it neat. Maya wrote everything down. She repeated the order back, clear and professional. She did not miss a detail. Maya, 1 steak cooked medium rare. 1 salad with the changes. Anything else? Dominic, hurry. We do not have all day. Maya, yes, sir. She walked to the kitchen and handed the order to Rosa. Rosa sighed, but she did not complain. She cared about the work. Time passed. The cafe stayed quiet. A few people watched the couple. Not with anger, with concern. People did not like to see anyone treated unfairly. But most people stayed silent. Silence was easier. Maya returned with the plates on a tray. The steak looked perfect. The salad looked clean and fresh. Maya moved carefully through the narrow aisle. Victoria looked ready to find a problem. Maya placed the plates down gently. Maya, here you go. Please enjoy. Dominic glanced at the steak. He nodded once. Then his eyes moved to Maya again. His smile was not kind. Dominic, people like you should be more careful. This job is simple, yet you all act like it is hard. Maya held her posture. Her voice stayed soft. Maya, I will check back in a few minutes. Victoria looked at Maya and spoke loudly. Victoria, wait, This lemon is cut too thick. I asked for fresh lemon, not a rough slice. Maya, I can bring thinner slices. Victoria, you should. Please do not make me repeat myself. Maya nodded. She turned to go. Dominic leaned back in the booth and spoke to Victoria, but he made sure Maya could hear. Dominic, this town is behind. It is no surprise. Maya took one more step. Then she stopped for a second. She did not turn around. She just breathed in, breathed out. She reminded herself why she was here. Her brother, their future, her goal. Frank watched her. His eyes were steady. He wanted to speak, but he waited. He knew Maya had pride. He knew she did not want saving. She wanted respect. Maya walked to the counter and set down her tray. Her hands were calm, but her heart was racing. Rosa looked at her again. Rosa, you are still kind. Maya, I am trying. Rosa, kindness is strong. Maya looked toward the window. She saw the road outside. Heat rising from the asphalt. The town looked quiet. The day looked normal, but her chest felt heavy. Then something changed. A low rumble rolled across the street. It grew closer, not loud, just deep, steady, like a group arriving with purpose. Maya lifted her eyes. Several motorcycles turned into the parking lot. Riders in dark vests parked in a line. Calm, organized, not here to cause trouble, just here together. The cafe went still. People turned to look. The door opened. A tall man stepped inside. Broad shoulders, a calm face, a quiet confidence. His eyes scanned the room, then settled on the booth by the window. Maya did not know his name yet, but she felt it in the air. Something was about to change. The man who entered the cafe did not rush. He did not speak right away. He stood near the door, calm and steady, as if he belonged there. His presence changed the room. Not with fear, with balance. Maya noticed him first. Not because he was tall, not because of the leather vest, but because his eyes were gentle, observing, respectful. The motorcycles outside were quiet now, parked neatly. No noise, no display. Dominic noticed the man and smiled with confidence. Dominic, looks like this place is getting crowded. Victoria glanced over her shoulder. Victoria, can we leave soon? I do not like this. Dominic leaned back, relaxed. Dominic, it is fine. No one here matters. The man near the door took a few slow steps inside. He looked at the booths, the counter, the people. Then his eyes stopped on Maya. He could tell she was holding herself together. Maya went back to the table with thinner lemon slices. Her steps were careful, calm. Maya, here you go. Fresh slices. Victoria barely looked. Victoria. Finally, Dominic tapped his fork on the table. Dominic, you know, service is about attitude. You should learn that. Maya nodded gently. Maya, I understand. She turned to walk away again. That was when the man spoke. Marcus, excuse me. His voice was calm, not loud, but it carried. Everyone looked. Dominic turned with a raised eyebrow. Dominic, yes. Marcus, you do not need to speak to her like that. Dominic laughed lightly. Dominic, this is none of your business. Marcus took another step forward. Still calm. Marcus, it becomes my business when kindness is ignored. Victoria crossed her arms. Victoria, she made mistakes. We are customers. Marcus, she is a person first. Maya froze for a moment. No one had said that out loud before. Not here. Not to her. Dominic stood up slowly. Dominic, listen. We are not here for a lesson. Marcus looked at him directly. Marcus, then do not teach the wrong one. The room stayed quiet. Frank shifted in his seat. Rosa watched closely from the counter. Dominic smiled again, but it was thinner now. Dominic, and who are you supposed to be? Marcus paused. Marcus, someone who believes respect matters. Victoria leaned close to Dominic. Victoria, let us just go. Dominic waved her off. Dominic, no, I want to finish my meal. He looked at Maya again. Dominic, bring the check when we are done. And make sure it is correct. Maya nodded. She did not speak. But something inside her felt lighter. Someone had seen her. Marcus pulled out a chair near the door and sat down. He did not stare. He did not interfere. He simply stayed. A few minutes passed. Dominic cut into his steak. Victoria picked at her salad. Victoria, this dressing tastes strange. Maya came back right away. Maya, I can replace it. Victoria sighed. Victoria, forget it. Marcus watched quietly. Then Frank stood up slowly. His voice was calm. Frank, young lady, you are doing your job well. Maya smiled at him. Maya, thank you, Frank. Dominic rolled his eyes. Dominic, this place is full of opinions. Marcus looked at Dominic again. Marcus, opinions are easy. Character takes effort. Dominic scoffed. Dominic, you talk a lot for someone sitting in a diner. Marcus nodded. Marcus, I listen more. That was when Rosa stepped out from the kitchen. Rosa, sir, if you have a concern, we will help. But please speak with respect. Victoria looked surprised. Victoria, are you serious? Rosa smiled politely. Rosa, always. Dominic stared at Rosa. Then he laughed again. But the laugh sounded unsure. Dominic, this town is small. Marcus replied gently. Marcus, small places remember how you treat people. Maya felt a warmth in her chest. She did not know why, but she felt stronger. Marcus stood up again. He walked to the counter and placed a small card on it. Marcus, Rosa, thank you for keeping this place alive. Rosa looked at the card. Her hands paused. Rosa, Marcus. She looked up at him with surprise and respect. Rosa, I did not expect to see you today. Marcus smiled. Marcus, I came to check on things. Dominic turned sharply. Dominic, what things? Marcus turned to him. Marcus, the future of this block. The room felt still again. Dominic's smile faded. Dominic, my family owns this area. Marcus nodded. Marcus, that is what you were told. Maya looked between them. Her heart beat faster. Marcus spoke calmly. Marcus, some plans are changing. Dominic frowned. Dominic, what do you mean? Marcus looked at Maya for a brief moment. Then back to Dominic. Marcus, it means how we treat people matters more than we think. The cafe held its breath. Maya felt it clearly now. This was not just about lunch. This was about respect. And something important was about to be revealed. The cafe felt different now. Not tense. Just quiet. Like everyone was waiting for the truth to arrive. Dominic sat back down, but his posture was no longer relaxed. His eyes stayed on Marcus. Victoria leaned closer to Dominic and lowered her voice. Victoria, who is he? Dominic, just someone trying to act important. But his tone did not sound sure. Maya stood near the counter. Her hands rested on the edge. She was listening without trying to. Her heart felt heavy and hopeful at the same time. Marcus walked slowly toward the booth where Dominic and Victoria sat. He did not invade their space. He stood beside the table, calm and patient. Marcus, I did not come here to interrupt your meal. Dominic crossed his arms. Dominic, then why are you still here? Marcus, because places like this matter. Victoria sighed. Victoria, it is just a diner. Marcus smiled slightly. Marcus, it is more than that to the people who work here. And to the people who grew up here. Maya looked at Rosa. Rosa nodded once. She understood. Dominic leaned forward. Dominic, you said something about the future of this block. Marcus, yes. Dominic, my family has plans. Marcus, I know. Marcus reached into his vest pocket and pulled out a folded paper. He placed it gently on the table. Marcus, these are public documents. Council updates. Development changes. Dominic glanced at the paper and frowned. Dominic, this does not mean anything. Marcus, it does. Victoria leaned in to read. Her face changed. Victoria, Dominic, this shows delays. Marcus, not delays. Reviews. Dominic looked up sharply. Dominic, reviews for what? Marcus, for fairness, for community impact, for how people are treated. Maya felt her breath catch. She did not know why, but she felt like something important was happening, something bigger than her. Frank stood up again, steady this time. Frank, some folks have been worried for a while. Dominic snapped back. Dominic, nobody asked you. Frank did not raise his voice. Frank, that is the problem. The room stayed quiet. Marcus nodded toward Frank. Marcus, thank you. Dominic looked around and realized people were no longer on his side. Not openly, but clearly. Dominic, so what is this really about? Marcus turned slightly toward Maya. His voice softened. Marcus, it is about people who show up every day and do their best. People who are often overlooked. Maya felt her eyes sting. She looked down, then back up. Maya, I just want to work with respect. Marcus met her gaze. Marcus, and that matters. Victoria shifted uncomfortably. Victoria, Dominic, let us leave. Dominic hesitated. Dominic, no. He looked at Marcus again. Dominic, you think you can change things with words. Marcus, no. Marcus paused. Marcus, I change things by listening first. Rosa stepped closer to Maya. Rosa, you okay? Maya nodded. Maya, I am. Marcus turned back to Dominic. Marcus, your family was invited to speak at the next council meeting. Dominic, invited. Marcus, yes. Along with workers, owners, locals. Dominic, that is unnecessary. Marcus, it is overdue. The cafe felt warmer now. Not louder, just warmer. Maya took a step forward without realizing it. Maya, I did not ask for any of this. Marcus smiled gently. Marcus, no, but your presence reminded us why it matters. Dominic looked at Maya. Really looked this time. Not as staff, as a person. Dominic, you think this changes anything for you? Maya took a breath. Maya, it already has. Her voice was calm, honest. Marcus nodded. Marcus, sometimes change starts with one moment of clarity. Victoria stood up. Victoria, I want to go. Dominic stood slowly. Dominic, fine. He looked at Marcus one last time. Dominic, this is not over. Marcus remained calm. Marcus, that depends on what you choose next. Dominic placed cash on the table. More than enough. Dominic, for the food. Maya stepped forward. Maya, thank you. Dominic paused, then nodded once. Dominic, you did your job well. It was not an apology, but it was something. Dominic and Victoria walked toward the door. The bell rang as they left. The cafe exhaled. Marcus turned to Maya. Marcus, you handled yourself with dignity. Maya smiled softly. Maya, I learned it here. Marcus looked around the cafe. At the booths. At the people. Marcus, then this place is doing something right. Maya felt a quiet pride settle in her chest. Outside, the sun was still bright. Inside, something had shifted. The story was not finished yet, but hope had arrived. The cafe slowly returned to its rhythm. Cups clinked softly. Chairs moved. Conversations restarted in low voices. But Maya still felt the moment in her chest. Something important had shifted inside her. Marcus stayed near the counter. He did not rush to leave. He spoke quietly with Rosa. Their words were calm and respectful. Maya wiped the counter and took a deep breath. She felt lighter, but also uncertain. Rosa touched her arm. Rosa, you handled that with grace. Maya, I was scared at first. Rosa, bravery does not mean no fear. It means choosing calm. Marcus turned toward Maya. Marcus, may I speak with you for a moment? Maya nodded. Maya, of course. They stepped a little to the side, near the window where sunlight filled the space. Marcus, I want you to know something. Maya listened closely. Marcus, I grew up visiting places like this. My father believed diners were where real stories lived. Maya smiled faintly. Maya, this place has many stories. Marcus, yes, and you are part of them now. Maya felt a small laugh escape her. Maya, I just work here. Marcus shook his head gently. Marcus, you do more than work. You hold this place together. Maya looked down, unsure how to respond. Maya, I try to treat people well. Marcus, that effort matters more than you realize. Frank walked over slowly, his mug in hand. Frank, you did good today, Maya. Maya, thank you, Frank. Frank looked at Marcus. Frank, not many people stand up with kindness. Marcus, kindness is strength. Frank nodded and returned to his booth. Maya looked out the window. The motorcycles were still parked outside. The riders spoke quietly among themselves. There was no show, no tension, just presence. Maya turned back to Marcus. Maya, may I ask why you really came here? Marcus paused for a moment. Then he spoke honestly. Marcus, I came to see the people behind the buildings, to understand what matters before decisions are made. Maya, decisions about the town. Marcus, yes. Maya felt her heart beat faster. Maya, and what did you see? Marcus looked around the cafe. Marcus, I saw people who care, people who show up, people who deserve a voice. Maya swallowed. Maya, most of us feel invisible. Marcus, that will change. Rosa joined them again. Rosa, the town meeting is next week. Marcus, I know. Rosa, people are worried. Marcus, they should not have to be. Maya looked between them. Maya, what can I do? Marcus met her eyes. Marcus, keep being yourself. Maya let out a slow breath. Maya, that feels small. Marcus smiled. Marcus, small actions create lasting change. Outside, the door opened briefly. One of the riders stepped in and spoke softly to Marcus. Rider, we are ready when you are. Marcus nodded. Marcus, thank you. He turned back to Maya. Marcus, I will be around more often. Maya, I hope so. Marcus reached into his pocket and handed Maya a simple card. Marcus, if you ever need to speak, or if you have ideas. Maya took the card carefully. Maya, thank you. Marcus, you earned respect today. Maya felt warmth rise in her chest. Not pride, something steadier. Marcus walked toward the door. The riders followed him outside. Engines started, smooth and controlled. They rolled away without noise or drama. The cafe felt brighter. Rosa leaned against the counter. Rosa, see, the world listens sometimes. Maya smiled. Maya, I think I am starting to believe that. She looked at the card again, then tucked it safely into her apron. The afternoon sun moved across the floor. Time continued, but Maya knew something was different now. She was no longer just reacting to the world. She was part of shaping it. The next few days passed quietly, but the town felt awake. Maya noticed it first in small ways. More smiles, longer conversations, people asking how she was doing, not just what they wanted to order. The cafe felt fuller, not louder, fuller. Rosa pinned a notice near the counter. A town meeting, community discussion, everyone welcome. Maya read it twice. Maya, do people really go to these? Rosa, when something matters, yes. Maya thought about Marcus, about his calm voice, about the way he listened. That afternoon, Dominic and Victoria did not return, but their presence lingered in whispers. Frank leaned over his booth. Frank, heard some news. Maya, what kind? Frank, their plans are being reviewed. Careful this time. Maya nodded. She did not feel proud. She felt relieved. Later that evening, Marcus returned. Not on a motorcycle this time. He walked in alone. The cafe grew quiet again. Not from tension, from respect. Marcus sat at the counter. Marcus, coffee please. Maya smiled and poured it. Maya, black. Marcus, always. Rosa joined them. Rosa, the town is talking. Marcus, that is good. Maya hesitated, then spoke. Maya, what happens next? Marcus looked at her. Marcus, next is choice. Maya, whose choice? Marcus, everyone's. He took a sip of coffee. Marcus, the council meeting is not about buildings. It is about voices. Maya leaned on the counter. Maya, I have never spoken in front of people like that. Marcus, you already did. Just not with words. Maya looked confused. Marcus, you're calm. Your dignity. People noticed. Maya felt her chest tighten. Maya, I was just trying to stay kind. Marcus, that is leadership. That night, Maya stayed late. She cleaned slowly, thought deeply. She thought about her brother, about her long shifts, about the moments she felt invisible. The meeting came quickly. The community hall was full. Neighbors, shop owners, workers, families. Maya stood near the back at first. Rosa nudged her gently. Rosa, go sit closer. Maya did. Marcus spoke early. Brief, clear, honest. Marcus, development should serve people, not erase them. People nodded. Then others spoke. One by one. A shop owner, a teacher, a local mechanic. Then silence. Marcus looked around. Marcus, is there anyone else? Maya felt her heart race. Her hands felt warm. She stood. The room turned. Maya. My name is Maya. Her voice was soft, but steady. Maya. I work at Crossroads Cafe. I am from here. She paused. Maya. I see people every day. I see kindness. I see effort. I see hope. She breathed. Maya. We do not ask for special treatment. Just fairness. Just respect. The room stayed quiet. Maya. When people listen, things change. She sat down. Rosa wiped her eyes. Marcus nodded. The meeting ended without shouting, without anger, with understanding. Days later, the decision was shared. The block would be protected. Local businesses supported. No sudden changes. The cafe celebrated quietly. Pie slices, coffee refills. Frank raised his mug. Frank. To Maya. People smiled. Maya shook her head. Maya. To all of us. Marcus stood near the door watching. Marcus. You did well. Maya. I was nervous. Marcus. You were honest. Maya looked around the cafe. Maya. I think this place saved me. Marcus. No. Marcus smiled. Marcus. You saved it too. The sun set outside. Warm and calm. Maya returned to her work. Same apron. Same smile. But inside she stood taller. Because respect had found its way back. And it stayed. The Crossroads Cafe felt brighter in the weeks that followed. Not because anything new was added, but because people carried themselves differently inside it. Maya noticed it every day. Customers greeted her by name. They waited patiently. They listened. Respect had become part of the room. Maya still wore the same uniform, still worked the same shifts, but something inside her had changed. She no longer felt small when she walked across the floor. One afternoon, she stood by the window and watched children pass by with their parents. Laughter floated through the air. Life felt steady. Rosa joined her. Rosa, you look lighter. Maya smiled. Maya, I feel stronger. Rosa nodded. Rosa, you earned that. Marcus returned often, sometimes alone, sometimes with community members. He never acted important. He listened more than he spoke. One quiet morning, he sat at his usual spot. Marcus, coffee. Maya poured it and placed it gently in front of him. Maya, how are things going? Marcus, slow, but right. Maya, that matters. Marcus smiled. Marcus, it does. He looked around the cafe. Marcus, this place reminds people of who they are. Maya thought for a moment. Maya, it reminded me too. Marcus leaned forward slightly. Marcus, have you thought more about helping with the community program? Maya took a breath. Maya, yes. Marcus waited. Maya, I want to help, but I want to stay here too. Marcus, you can do both. Maya's eyes widened. Maya, really? Marcus, leadership does not always mean leaving. Sometimes it means lifting others where you stand. Maya nodded slowly. Later that day, a letter arrived for Maya. She opened it carefully. Her brother had been accepted into college. With support, Maya covered her mouth and laughed softly. Tears filled her eyes, but they were warm tears. Frank noticed. Frank, good news. Maya nodded. Maya, very good. Frank raised his mug. Frank, you deserve it. The town continued to grow, not taller, but closer. New signs appeared. Local events. Shared plans. The cafe became a meeting place. A starting point. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Maya locked the front door and turned off the lights. She stood alone for a moment, listening to the quiet. She remembered the day everything changed. The moment she felt seen. Marcus waited outside. Marcus, ready. Maya nodded. Maya, yes. They walked together for a short distance. Maya stopped and looked back at the cafe. Maya, I used to think my voice did not matter. Marcus, many people do. Maya, now I know it does. Marcus, that knowledge changes everything. Maya smiled. Maya, I will keep choosing kindness. Marcus nodded. Marcus, that is how real change lasts. The next morning, the Crossroads Cafe opened its doors like always. Coffee brewed. Sunlight poured in. Conversations began. Maya tied her apron and took her place. She was still a waitress. She was also a leader, and anyone who walked through that door could feel it. Because respect grows where people choose to give it. And sometimes, the quietest strength creates the greatest change.